evening mga kalaro and welcome to the Council of Titos, the show on the Laro-Laro channel that talks about a different kind of game, the reality TV game show and a social experiment that has run for over 2 decades, Survivor. I'm Chief Bisdak, Joel Parcon, and with me as always is the Tito formerly known as the Vice Chief, now known as the Juxtapotito, Jao Atienza. What's up, Jao? How are you doing?
Oh, my heart. This game really does rip your heart out, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. It does. But I have a question about that. We'll talk about that later. Unfortunately, not with this for this episode is the man with the thoughts. Martin. Martin, we'll see you again next week. For tonight, we are going to talk about the latest episode of Survivor Season 45 entitled The Game Rips Your Heart Out. But before we begin, do consider hitting the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you get updated whenever we come up with new episodes on this channel. And for those of you who don't want to have to look at our mugs whenever we talk Survivor, you can always catch us wherever you get your podcasts. Just search for Council of Titos and you'll find us there. And so without further ado, let's begin. All right. So this episode, I'm sure that we all, well, at least two of us, well, three of us, including this other friend of mine who actually one of the friends who helped me conceptualize the Council of Titos. We breathed, we felt remorse over the outcome of this past episode. Yeah, so that's gonna be that's gonna be there. Yeah. Exactly. That's the mood.
I don't know. Martin might be pretty happy.
Martin is, I'm sure, pretty happy. I'm sure that one of his highs is that his boy is still there. So anyway, speaking of highs, what are some of your highs?
I'm gonna say Katura's little segment there, her little sob story. That wasn't so much a sob story as something that shed so much light on a lot of like who she is and her character as a person and her character in the game. Right? So being part of a cult and all of that sort of thing, right? Like when I was watching it with my wife, she was like, so that's why she's a human rights attorney. Like that makes so much sense, right?
Yeah.
And it kind of sheds light on why she was very sensitive to Bruce being kind of bossy. It sheds a lot of light on the thing with her mom in the previous episode when the letters from home came. Like it was a great character moment, right? If plot is character moving through time and you finding more out about those characters as they sort of traverse through the plot, this was very, very good, and it put a lot of things into context. It made her a lot more rootable. We finally get something other than haha, I want to get Bruce out.
Exactly.
Like it was exactly what Katura needed.
Yeah. I actually also have that. And finally, we get Katura. Finally, we understand why Katura is what she is or who she is.
Yeah.
Right. We're finally getting to see who Katura really is, especially with the past couple of episodes. So we kind of and I know we joke about it. Like whenever we start seeing the backstories or the sob stories of the castaways, that means that they're on the way out. But for this one, it was different. As soon as we started seeing more of who Katura was, that was the signal for like Bruce to get voted out.
Exactly.
And just like what you said, the confessional that she gave in this episode, it gave a lot of context for why she was really sort of against Bruce, right? So it and had we gotten that at the start of the season, I think it might have distracted from some of the other possible interesting things that would also that were also being told within the
Yeah.
season. Because if you drop something that big, that Katura is someone from who left a cult and all of that. That's why she has all of these other things, and maybe she would, and we would tend to focus on that, right?
Yeah.
And they also probably wanted to really make Bruce uh rootable, right? And that's why at the start Katura
Yeah.
seemed to be just whining about Bruce, but now we
Yeah.
see it gives us that different kind of reveal,
Yeah.
and it gives us something more to munch on moving forward. It gives us more context, and I love that. I love the fact that they did that now.
And it's really cool that like in this show, um one of the highest highs in this episode, which had a lot of stuff going on, was like the very human and vulnerable moment, which I don't know if that says a lot about me and the type of storytelling that I like, or says a lot about Survivor, but it is what it is, right? Like it's the human stories, it's the human moments that make the show beautiful.
Mm. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's why we like these 90-minute runtimes, because it gives us a lot more of those human moments
Yeah.
as compared to just the challenges, just the tribals, just the backstabbing and the plotting, right?
Yeah, it gives us more than simply Martin's bathroom breaks.
Yeah. So yeah, I love it. I love the fact that we now, well, it's this was episode 11. We've got two more episodes to go,
Yeah.
uh, but at least we're not seeing Katura as merely just a part of the crowd, right?
Yeah.
Even in this episode, she sort of well, we saw that she had a little bit more agency
Mm.
while Emily was on the journey. She went ahead and did her part and planted the
Yeah.
seeds for trying to get Julie out, right?
Yeah.
And emphasis on trying.
Trying. Right.
Yeah,
Your high. Your
my
your
high,
highest high.
my highest high. Well, I just have it's my number one high here, but it's not my highest of highs. Oh, Destiny,
Yeah.
Destiny. I'm
They're
calling
adorable,
it.
man.
Yeah, they're adorable. It was confirmed that Austin sort of went into the season looking for an Amber, uh,
Yeah.
and it just so
And
happened that
do you went into the season being like no to
no to
showmances?
showmances, but yeah, opposites attract, I guess. That's the best way to say it. Opposites attract. You have different objectives, but you saw each other, you met each other, you started liking each other, right? Yeah, and well, this will also lead to one of the those that I got later on. But yeah, these things, it's nice to see something like this happen on. I mean, it was last season, right? That was the what was that?
No, man.
The
That was two
shaman.
seasons ago,
Oh,
right?
it was it 2 seasons ago? 43.
Was it? Wait, let me check.
Franny, Franny Marin, and what's his name?
What's his name? Matt blank
Blanking. Yeah,
blank. Yeah,
yeah, Matt
for
Blankenship.
44. Sorry,
44. So
44.
it was just last season.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, but yeah, I'd have to say that the Franny Matty showmance was a little bit more adorable than this one.
Yes, I was actually gonna bring that up. Like,
Yeah.
Jeff Probst has been quoted as saying, "I love love," and yeah, I do. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love is cool, man.
Yeah.
But if we're comparing the two, like new era like showmances,
Mm-hmm.
I prefer Matt and Franny. They were a lot more plucky, I think, is like a
Mm.
good is like the word that I would use to describe it, and I find that a little bit more cute.
Yeah.
That's just me. That's just me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was into the whole manic pixie dream girl thing, uh, but yeah, it was a little bit cuter.
Yeah.
out for Ethiopian food, right? Ethiopian food versus
Ethiopian,
sushi,
yeah,
right? Ethiopian food versus sushi. One of them is clearly like cooler than the other.
yeah.
Um,
But then again, it might only be cooler for us because we actually get a lot of sushi. We
well,
don't
yeah,
get
that's
a lot
true.
of Ethiopian food here in the Philippines. But yeah,
That's true, but
yeah. But still, yeah. And I think we were also, uh, it was also established better for us. The Franny Matt showmance
mm,
was more better established compared to this. That was sort of, I never really noticed it until like 2 episodes ago when Austin started having these longing looks at D whenever she spoke.
yeah,
Right.
mm, yeah,
Before then, it was they were the core four. Right. They were the
right,
core four. There
right,
was really nothing. We never saw D and Austin really slinking off together by themselves.
yeah,
Right? We never saw anything like that. Meanwhile, Franny, Matty, uh, the two of them clicked from the get go, and
yeah,
then yeah, we really got to see it from the start.
yeah. So
So yeah, so
it's
I'll,
it's it's
I'll
it's good. I
it's
quite
good,
like
but
it though.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's good. It's good that yeah, it's good in the sense that wow, how is it good? It's good in the sense that uh well, I can really coin the term "disty" now. Right? Uh, yeah, I don't know if anyone has given them a shit name yet.
You should put that
Uh,
up on Reddit or on Twitter or something.
yeah, yeah, I probably will. I probably will. I'll post this video on Twitter. I'll share this video on Twitter, and then I'll put that hashtag. Yeah. So anyway, well, just to balance it out, so that was a high, but not really a high.
Well,
Uh,
it's tied to one of my lows later.
yeah, mine too,
But
actually.
I suppose our low later is going to be Martin's high, so we can talk about that as well.
Yeah, yeah. So my one of my higher highs is actually it was again it comes from the guy who probably represents most of us the most represents us the most. That's Drew, and he dropped a Lord of the Rings reference, talking about Julie holding on to that immunity idol, that hidden immunity idol, like Gollum to the ring. Yeah, just like when that came out, I was like, oh wow, nice LOTR reference.
tie in.
Yeah, it's a tie-in. It's a tie-in. Too bad it's like a season late, right? They have all of these things that I think that Drew would have fit right in last season, right? Yeah.
Yeah, well, I guess, but it's nice that he's not with all of the,
Oh yeah.
like a little bit fish out of water. He was also supposed to be, like tight with Brando
Mm,
because
over
they're like
Pokemon.
they could have been the Pokemon alliance. They could have been like Ash and Pikachu or whatever. Like, but no.
Ash and Pikachu. Who would be Ash? Who'd be Pikachu? Not even like Brock and Ash. Uh,
when Pikachu won, he was when Ash finally became the very best no one ever was. It was Pikachu that was there with him.
oh,
So,
okay. Okay. All right. Okay. I get it. I get it.
going to the very end, right?
Okay. I
Like
get it.
there's the two there, and then whoever wins, that person gets to be Ash.
Mhm. And then they whip out the one of Ash's caps.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty cool. At least now at least now Andrel back there, is a little bit more like represented
Mhm.
in in Survivor. So now there is good reason for it to be like in your background.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the reference. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Anyway, yeah. Any other highs for your side?
I this is mm, this is kind of a high, kind of a low, but like it's a high in the sense that I like it when things come full circle,
Mhm.
and they almost had a really cool full circle moment with the journey and the puzzle being
Mm.
like, sort of like What was that season where Ghost Island, sort of like Ghost Island, right? Where it's like all of the advantages, whatever that
Mm,
like failed or weren't played. Like this was the puzzle that they weren't able to do. And if Emily had pulled it off, that would have been amazing.
yeah.
Um, slight slight gameplay high. I'm glad she didn't.
Mm.
Um, my
Why?
wife
Why?
thinks
How
my,
so?
my wife thinks otherwise, but she's like, oh, that was Emily's mistake. She should have gone for it and just lied about it. And if she doesn't have a vote, then she just like plays as though she has a vote.
Hmm.
That would have been interesting. But my take on it was, if she isn't confident in herself, then it's just gonna get in her head as she's trying to do the thing. And one of the beautiful things about this game of Survivor is uh, there's more than one way to wiggle your way out of like a bad situation, right?
Hmm.
Like there were at least two other ways that Emily could have stayed safe tonight.
Mm.
It didn't necessarily have to be that island thing. One, she could have like taken less credit or
Hmm.
been a little bit more subtle about um, the Bruce move. But alternatively, they could have gone, or they should have gone plan voodoo and split the vote. This was the perfect time to split a vote,
Exactly.
which leads me
Exactly.
to another high.
Hmm.
Um, they didn't try to split a vote with Jake as the backup. Finally,
Finally.
my canonical winner pick
Yeah.
didn't get votes cast on him today, or yeah, the episode. So I'm like, yeah, all right, fine.
At least Jake gets to live, gets to sleep without having any votes cast on him. Yeah. Yeah. And so that goes back on
Dang it!
the headphones, the headphones. There you go.
There we go.
And then the headphones. There you go. So he is once again, he lives to fight another day. That's actually connected to my high. And that is the fact that Julie got to pick who would go home all by
Oh yeah,
herself.
yeah,
That's the first time, right? It's the first time that that's happened. That it was just one player with one vote voting out, and then she was being targeted, and then she had that one vote to vote someone out. I don't know. We don't have our historian here.
I'm not sure if that's ever happened, but
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. Yeah, now that you bring that up, that's really cool. Like
Mm.
she knew exactly what the power that she had, and
Hmm.
she squandered it. She should have
She's
taken out Austin.
yeah. She should have taken out one of her number already. Yeah, because Austin, you take out the other immunity idol, right? The immunity
Yeah,
necklace. So yeah, it's she squandered it, and yeah. How did it come to be that? Oh, because because Emily said at the start of the episode that she told Bruce that Julie wasn't with Bruce, right?
mm,
That's what planted that seed that okay, I need to take Emily out.
yeah,
Right. As,
yeah.
yeah. Apart from Emily taking a lot of the credit for the Bruce move. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, but that is pretty cool. Although, yeah, I do think she was better off taking out Austin
Hmm.
in a mutually assured destruction sort of way, you know, like uh, both idols get flushed,
Hmm. True.
and nuclear disarmament happens, and the world can live in peace.
Well, not necessarily because D's gonna be like pissed. And based on I don't know if it's a nothing burger, but Drew is pissed, right?
Yeah, because this is the first time. Is it? This is the first time that things didn't go according to his plan, right?
I think so.
Like
Yeah.
this is the first time that Drew had a plan and it didn't work out,
Hmm. I think so.
as far as I can remember. Yeah, because every other time that I can think of, he either like spearheaded it or had a big like sort of part in the planning of it.
Mm-hmm.
and this is the first time that it didn't quite work out.
Yeah. So yeah, that's why he's pissed, and he's pissed at
Yeah,
Julie. Yeah,
yeah. What that's really interesting, right?
that's yeah,
Like,
yeah.
we get to see what Jake was telling him in a way, like, it's not that nice when when your name comes up.
Mm-hmm.
In a way, your plan not working out is kind of like that, right? Like, when
Yeah.
things don't go your way, are you going to be, this whiny little bitch, or are you going to, like, stiff upper lip, keep calm, carry on, or
Mm-hmm.
like, how is he going to react to that? And you know, it
Well, apparently
looks interesting.
yeah, apparently he's gonna try and become Captain America, practicing with the lid of the pot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna start playing a defensive game.
Yeah, defensive game. He'll do it all day. Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, that was fun. That was fun. Well, I will admit to you, I don't really have a lot of thoughts on this episode. Probably to down on the fact that the person who was getting built up as like the hero to break up the core four was voted out. Anyway, do
Yeah.
you have any other highs?
Uh, I mean, this was a good episode, but it wasn't to the level of the other
Mm,
episodes that we
yeah.
had in this season. So it's it's one of those it's one of those things where extremes is the right term, extreme, where contrast, where contrast makes the otherwise good not as good as it would have been, because there's a lot more excellence,
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm sure as a teacher
Yeah.
you've had some of that. You have the really good students,
Mm-hmm.
like, and then you have those other students that are just okay. They don't perform as well as they can, but it feels like they're not performing, but it feels like they're performing a lot worse than they actually are, because you have a
Because
couple
you've
of
got like
students
the
that
yeah.
are just really good.
Yeah.
you know like, the people that mess up the curve of the grade, like,
Yeah. The exceptions to the rule.
yeah. So this episode, I feel, was like a victim of the excellence of some of the other episodes of the season,
Yeah.
which isn't necessarily, uh maybe victim isn't the right word to use, but like, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that an episode that would have been really good in like 41 or
Mm.
42 is just perceived as mediocre, given the rest of the season being just
Having a
up
lot of
there.
like up, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that is my sort of long winded way of saying that I don't have any other highs.
Yeah. Well, actually, I have a couple, but they're like so like yeah, yeah. For example, I like the mechanics of the challenge that it had to be right on both sides. So the if you had one letter in front, it's not necessarily the same letter in the back. So
Yeah.
you had to look for that. But it's very minor, very small things. Yeah. Again, I agree with what you said. This episode fell not victim, but yeah. And I think the right word is because of contrast, because you compare it with you inevitably have to compare it with at the very least episodes in the same season, right? And we've gotten a lot of really good episodes this season. uh
Which makes me wonder about this season. Like, is this
mm,
season really that good, or is it just because, like, the previous seasons,
weren't
while
weren't that
good,
yeah. Hmm.
haven't been to the level of, say, like, the one in Cagayan, right?
Hmm.
Like, I don't know.
True. Yeah. Well, we'll see how it all ends. I think that by the end of the season we'll figure it out. We'll find out what's what, right? Yeah. So I guess and we don't have a Martin to give all of his highs about this episode.
Yeah, so I'll just stand in for Martin and say,
Mm.
"Oh, Austin."
Austin. Yeah.
I need like a beer so I can be like stone cold.
Yeah, speaking of Austin, he is one of my lows. He's not the lowest of lows, but yeah, Austin really is just playing this game with his heart. And
Yes.
yeah, kids, cover your ears with his other head. Uh, yeah,
That's true. I can say the same thing about D.
yeah, it's the same. But Austin has a little bit more power because of the fact that he's got an immunity idol.
Mm,
And he was in on the plan with
mm,
everyone else, right? And because he didn't want to blindside his destiny, he went ahead and told her. Right? They already had the numbers. They didn't actually need to tell D. Right?
mm.
And he went and told her that they were gonna vote for Julie, but he didn't tell the others that Julie had an idol. Right?
Oh,
Neither Katura, Emily, or what? Sorry, do you have
I,
information about that?
yeah, I would not. I would just like to have as a little bit of a disclaimer before we go on that
Mm.
when it comes to all of this, we are particularly biased in that Jake is my canonical winner pick, and my second winner pick was Emily,
Mm.
and I believe Emily was your
Emily became
canonical winner
my
pick.
my winner pick after she voted out Brando.
Yeah, so that means now your canonical winner pick is Julie.
It's Julie. Yeah.
But since Emily was your canonical winner pick for quite some time, our analysis is going to be very colored by the fact that we are disappointed in Emily having been voted out
Mm.
by the Reba for, well, really
Just
by
by
Austin
Julie.
telling D.
Oh yeah, by Austin telling D, and not that's for me. That's the thing. He sort of still wanted to keep Reba strong, right? In the fact that he didn't. Neither Austin nor Drew communicated the fact that Julie has an idol,
Mm,
right? Had they told the other three about that, they would have split the vote. It would have
yeah.
been 3-2, right?
They should
Probably
have.
probably Katura and Jake might have swung a vote over to D, just
Yeah,
so that just so that Austin wouldn't need to know that there are a couple of votes heading D's way.
yeah, that was Austin. Yeah, or Austin sacrifices himself for D. That was your prediction,
That
right?
was no prediction. Yeah, that was a prediction. Yeah, and that could have happened if Austin had known that D is a very difficult is a
Sorry.
very formidable player. We need to take her out, right? And all of that, and then Austin's like, no, in the end, I'm going to play my idol. I wanted to play this next tribal, but no, I have to play it now. I'm playing it for D.
Bam, and then he gets the stray vote. And that's how he sacrifices himself.
Yeah.
But when I was watching that, right, I was thinking like, um, remember like a couple of seasons ago, we were all like clowning on Romeo for his seeming, for the seeming randomness of like
Mm,
his voting patterns. This would have been like the perfect time for Romeo,
yeah.
like the stray vote. Like if Emily had cast a stray vote,
Mm,
you know, then we would have gone to a revote, and at least it's something a little bit more than a simple like six votes get negated and one vote decides who goes home, right?
mhm. But what
Yeah,
would happen there? So let's hypothesize that. So the stray vote, who would the stray vote be for?
either D or Austin.
Dear Austin. And then it would be the same. It would be oh, okay. So two of the Reba get taken out because they would be immune already, right? In a revote, they'd be immune. Let's say D gets the stray vote. D and Julie, sorry, D and Emily. Sorry, so it's D and Emily who get immune. And you've got Katura, Jake, Drew, and
But don't
Julie.
they have to? But they revote, and the only ones eligible to be voted for are
Oh,
the
eligible to be voted for. Oh, true, true, true.
yeah, and so so at that point it becomes
But it would
um
still be three. Do all of them get to vote? All of them
no
still get
no
to vote. No,
they don't get to vote, but
the two who get.
at least they get to discuss it in the open. At
Mm,
least they try to pull one of them over to their side,
mm,
as opposed to it just being a clean vote. Like when Jake says, if I'm gonna be voted out of this game, I want to go down fighting."
mm,
Like that's the sort of thing that I think would be an example of going down fighting, right? Like,
yeah,
at least you tried everything, right?
yeah.
But as it turns out, she uh, didn't cast a stray vote, or they didn't do a vote split, and she didn't uh, she didn't play a game.
Hmm.
Yeah. Slight Doctor Who and Saw reference. She didn't want to play a game. Yeah. Anyway,
Oh, yeah, anyway, so yeah, that's true. A little. Well, would Emily have been the one to do that though? To take that stray vote, make that stray vote. She had been sort of she sort of got locked into voting for Julie,
yeah.
but given the fact that she is sort of she's the analyst, right?
Mm.
So she should have been able to think about it that way.
I bet she didn't buy stocks for GameStop.
True, true.
Because the super like outlier thing doesn't seem to be like
Her,
she's very strong with her fundamentals.
yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah, well, anyway, yeah, too bad. Too bad nobody made the stray vote. Nobody, they didn't split the votes. So
Oops.
yeah. So Julie is now my canonical winner pick.
Yep. And I think she does have a good shot to make it to
Yeah,
the
she
end.
now has a good shot. She's coming on strong now, stronger now. She's giving me Tina Wesson vibes all of a sudden.
Yes. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that's why
Like.
Tina also won, right? Because everybody loved her.
Yeah. But and she was also very cutthroat.
Mm-hmm.
So like, yeah, Julie.
Yeah.
So, yeah. God, that second season of Survivor really imprinted on me. So it's like, oh, Tito was it? Well, the second and third seasons of
Mm.
Survivor really um had this. Anyway,
Anyway, what are your lows?
uh, yeah, Austin.
Yeah, it seems that Austin is really like, yeah.
Yeah,
Martin's high is our low. Sorry, Marts.
basically. Sorry, Martin. Yeah, your high is his high is our low.
Yeah.
What was that thing from the war? Loose lips sink ships.
Sink ships. Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's exactly what happened here.
yeah. Well, I don't know. I suppose like the MV Destiny is doing quite well,
Mm.
but you know. But yeah. Austin. It was for no other reason than I really wanted Emily to at least make it to final three
Yeah.
to like plead her case.
Had she gotten to final three, let's say
Hmm.
against gosh, yeah, Julie maybe. And who else would be at par with that kind of with the kind of game that they've had? Maybe D Julie Emily a final three would have been nice to watch.
That would
Yeah.
have gone straight to Emily. You know what? I was thinking about this, right? Like, is it really in your best interest to unless your final three is a final three from a very strong alliance?
Mm.
assuming that the third person in that final three also played a really strong game, is it really in your best interest to like bring a very close ally that was part of a bigger group to the end? Wouldn't that split the jury vote?
Oh,
So like the way like when I'm looking at it now, right? It if any of if you have two people from the Reba Alliance plus Jake has a great shot. Two people from
true,
the Reba Alliance and Katura has a great shot. If it's two people from the Reba Alliance and Emily wins. Like
true. So
right?
it would
Like
have been like a Katura or Jake alongside Julie and Emily. But then again, the whoever it is, whether Jake or Katura, that'd be sort of a zero vote finalist.
yeah,
Right?
but that that
But yeah,
that,
yeah, you're
that
right.
was
You're
just
right.
what I was
You're right.
thinking, right?
Yeah.
Like it has to be three from that Reba Alliance, um,
Mm,
because if it's two of them and somebody else, that somebody else might have a good shot because the jury might feel burned and they don't have as many allies on that jury.
true. True.
Like
They
I don't
probably
know.
only have the one that they took out, who would
Yeah,
also,
basically.
yeah, who would also be like bitter against them because they didn't take that person to the end, right?
Yeah. So, there's that's what came to mind. Like they really, it's probably in their best interest to have at least three of them,
Hmm.
to have three of them at the final three, which doesn't exactly look like is going to be the case
The
given the
cracks.
next time on,
Yeah.
which means Jake's chances just got higher.
Just got higher, baby. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a sinking ship. Looks good thing he's a good swimmer.
He's a good swimmer. Oh, yeah, speaking of ships, I also have to say that the journey was a little bit of a low. Like
Mm,
this deep into the game to have something like that. That's like a solo journey. I don't know if that's good. If that's good for the game.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're unnecessarily painting a huge target on one player,
Yeah.
right? So
So
yeah, not unless that player, not unless the puzzle is like really easy
but then
and
at
it's
that
really
point,
doable.
you're just giving away a free idol.
Yeah.
And if you're giving away a free idol this close to the end, that's equally like questionable.
Hmm. That's true as well. But yeah, so no more journeys in when you come to like final eight or final seven, final six.
Yeah,
It's
yeah. Sorry,
or
the
final
journey
10
could
maybe.
have,
Yeah.
or it could have been like that journey with what's her name, that from last season where like they just eat.
No, but it has to be with someone else. It can't be a
Yeah,
solo
yeah,
journey.
yeah, yeah. Like nothing here, just food. Congratulations,
Hmm.
like that would have been good, but
It it might have been production really wanting to see if the if the puzzle was doable, you know?
I was
Right?
listening to On Fire,
Mm.
and apparently they had another puzzle lined up for that.
Oh, but
But then when they said that when nobody finished the first puzzle, they
ah,
decided to save the puzzle for this one for the next season.
ah,
That way they don't have to come up with something new.
oh. And then it
And
happens that that other puzzle was like really easy.
oh yeah, just to make the sweat and savvy thing a little bit easier next
Yeah,
season. But yeah, it makes sense, I guess. You know. And narratively, it's quite nice. Like I mentioned, it's that whole full
the
circle
whole
thing.
full circle. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's
Like a
just too
good
bad Emily didn't have if not enough confidence in herself to actually try it at the very least, right?
yeah. Oh well.
Oh well,
Well, she is a financial analyst. They tend to be very
conservative.
conservative, right?
True,
Like very risk averse in which is ironic because like stocks are one of the more risky things out there. But
true.
yeah, Like financial analysts tend to be pretty risk averse.
True. That's true. Yeah.
Mm.
Well, any other lows on your side?
Uh, Not really. this episode, this episode was the equivalent of cruise control.
Exactly. Exactly. And it's so much cruise control. So I guess we're going on. We move on to our predictions.
Yeah,
It is so much cruise control that I
this
do
might be
not have an
juicier.
answer. I don't have an answer for this one. Whose line is it actually? Who said the line?
Wasn't it Austin? Like this game rips your heart out because he was talking about D, and you know how it's a painful decision. Is he going to tell D about blindsiding? Because what was it? He said
Oh
that
gosh, did he?
blindsiding. Yeah, he said something about how blindsiding Julie
Blindsiding Julie would be blindsiding D.
necessarily means
And
blindsiding blind. Blah. You know the word I'm saying. Doing the blind thing to D,
yeah,
and because he's the Boston Rob to her Amber,
yeah.
D's gonna win. Uh,
And then
it's
he's gonna
it's
propose in
it
the
rips.
reunion
Yeah,
show.
yeah. Oh,
But they
that
wouldn't.
was something I wanted to ask you. What do you
Yeah.
think of the flashback to the Boston Rob and Amber thing?
Well, I guess they really wanted it. They were right, or they are cheering on for this
Mm-hmm.
showmance, hoping it becomes the new era's Boston and Boston Amber, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I don't know if Jeff is high on Austin. Oh, that's cool. Boss. Yeah, yeah. Rob. He's Rob though. Boston Rob, but they know him as Boss. Yeah, and Austin, like
You know,
cities in the U.S. Anyway, yeah.
during or on the On Fire podcast as well, they were talking about it, right? And then Jeff says, but do we know who Boston Rob and who Amber is in this situation? And I thought to myself, did but then I thought to myself, did Jeff just slip up?
Mm-hmm.
Is he
Mm-hmm.
implying that they're going to be the final two?
Uh-huh.
And we're not sure if it's going to be Austin or D that wins.
True.
Because in All Stars it was Amber, and
It
then
was Amber. Yeah.
so yeah.
Yeah. So I'll have to check that because I watched it. Although I watched it once in regular speed, and then I watched it a second time in 2.0 speed. I'd never caught when the line was said. So it's about that time when Austin was thinking about telling D. Okay, I'll have to check it out again.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, that was it.
Mm, okay.
You watch it 2 times speed for your second run through.
Yeah, yeah, I
I
had to.
was like, because like I was thinking to myself, oh, Joel is like Canadian lad who watches like Marvel stuff at point 0.25x speed, and then I was like, oh,
No, it's the
because
other
like,
way.
like the first time I heard you mention like a couple of months ago or a couple of weeks
Mm.
ago, it's like what you watch it at 2.25x, looking for all of the Easter eggs,
The
an
Easter
Easter egg
eggs.
breakdown of season
We
45,
could,
episode 11.
I don't know if there are any though. Right? I don't think that CBS would want to do all of that work. Uh, right. So anyway, yeah. So that was Austin. So let's go ahead and move to next episode, the ex-girlfriend at the wedding.
Wait, hold up. We
Okay.
have to
All right.
take
All
our
right.
L's, man. We have
Oh
to
yeah, yeah,
take
yeah,
our
yeah, yeah, yeah.
L's.
There you go. There you go.
Uh, none of us, none of us got the line.
Uh huh.
Um, Martin says it's D because she has to take out Austin.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Oh.
uh, there really wasn't much of a reward challenge in so is a reward challenge. D, Jake, and Austin get to go to the sanctuary where good things happen. This is what you were saying last time. It builds the D and Austin showmance.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Austin sacrifices himself for D. Um,
Well, maybe he has by
that's what I
telling,
was.
yeah, right?
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah.
By telling D about the plan, he has sacrificed his chance to win in the end. Because now, yeah, well, whatever. Anyway,
It was when I was looking at your prediction,
mm,
like thinking about how I think quote unquote the episode should have gone, or the way that the whole thing should have gone. It feels like you planted the seeds for it in my head last week when you said that Austin gives D his idol and the votes ricochet on him.
mm,
Like the whole Emily should have thrown a stray vote at like Austin or
mm,
something. Yeah, like you probably you inception that into my brain
into
like
your
last
brain.
week. Um
Anyway, what other
Martin,
else do we have?
actually Martin gets a dub.
Oh,
Oh wait, no, sorry, no. I somehow read that as Drew. He said it's an Austin immunity run. Sorry, I read that as Drew.
oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so Martin takes the L for that.
Mhm.
I said Julie doesn't go rogue.
Well,
Instead,
she went roguest of rogues.
yes. Instead, instead she saves D. What? And Drew gets voted out. I was so wrong. Drew won immunity.
Yeah.
God,
Oh my god. Okay, so that was a bunch of L's for us. Hopefully,
that's
yeah.
part of the appeal of the show. Just
Yeah.
how bad we are at predicting
Yes,
stuff.
exactly. Exactly. All right, so let's go ahead and move to the next episode. The title is The Ex-Girlfriend at the Wedding.
I was gonna say that this was Emily, but
Oh. She comes up with all of those nice lines, right?
yeah. Mm.
Well, I'll go
Who?
ahead. I'll go ahead and say that I can only think of one of two, right? So it's for me though. I'll stick with this. What I wrote first. It's gonna be Drew, and he's talking about Julie, right? They all, I mean, Drew technically broke it off with her already, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, she's still there. She's still in the camp, right? So it's like someone you broke up with all of a sudden at your wedding, and everyone was already against her technically because they all voted for her, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so
And
that's
then
me.
she comes back.
And then she comes back and still shows up at the wedding, right?
I'm gonna say Jake.
Mm.
Simply because he hasn't had a line in a while.
And like you said, he is sort of the good narrator or the good
Yeah.
point of view reference for the season.
Yeah.
Yeah, who would
I
he be
could
talking about?
uh I'm gonna say Julie. Fine, let's say Julie. Yeah. Talking about Julie.
All right. Yeah, I was saying it could also be the other way around. Julie talking about Drew
Yeah.
because especially because of what we saw, like Drew with his tantrum, right?
Yeah.
And Julie's like, she's chill. She knows that she won that last tribal, right? So yeah,
Who's getting voted out next week?
who's getting voted out? I think that it is going to be one of the core four. Yeah,
Yeah.
most likely it will be they will try once again to take out Julie because they know that if they sit beside her in the end, they're not gonna win. And there's only two. There's technically four of them and two non-Reba. So
Mm.
if even if they take out one of their number, they'd still have majority of numbers. So they don't need to pick off the two others yet. Right.
And they don't need um and they don't need the numbers because they finally
Yeah.
I was thinking, is it going to be because Julie seems like the easy vote, like
Mm,
in the same way that after Caleb played his shot in the dark and like it worked, they're just like, okay, screw it, let's try again, and they got him out. That seems to be sort of the culture of this season.
yeah.
But um, I'm gonna say D.
Ooh. Maybe this is when like my prediction from last week will happen.
Yeah, but either way we are. Either way, we are in agreement that we think
The core
the
four
three
is no
before
more.
is gonna break up. Yeah, the core four is no more. I like
Yeah.
that. Let me just take that down.
Hmm.
Uh, the ex girlfriend at the wedding, aka the core four, is no more. Yeah, I'm gonna say D. I'm gonna
Mm.
say D. Um, and the reason I'm gonna say D is because Julie wins immunity.
Ooh. Wow.
Yeah, is Austin is definitely gonna play his idol.
Yeah. Yeah, he did say because it's the last time he can play it, right?
Yeah,
Final
who's he gonna
six. It just
who's he gonna
matter.
play it for?
Ooh. I think he's gonna be in self-preservation mode, so it's gonna be himself. He's gonna play it on himself.
Yeah, yeah, sounds about right. On himself.
Hmm. He already
Watch as
made the
he
mistake. He already made the mistake of giving away one, right?
watch as he plays it on D, and the votes ricochet onto him.
On yeah.
Oh,
So my prediction from last week becomes a W.
yeah. Actually, yeah. I actually kind of want that to happen though.
Yeah,
Like
right. I
that.
mean, like,
That seems pretty cool.
yeah, he knows that the votes are gonna be on D, but he doesn't want to tell D because he doesn't want her to whatever. And then all of a sudden he's like, all right, he doesn't want D to panic and like go and fight with everyone else. And he just sacrifices
That would
himself.
be amazing. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. That would be Shakespearean.
Yeah, it would be. I mean, that's why we come from that kind of a
That's
background, right?
what,
Uh,
we like the theater.
yeah, we like the theater. We are like Jake. Uh, yeah. Any other predictions that we've got? What other predictions can we? I want to
Uh,
see Jake win something.
right.
Yeah, I want to see
Jake
Jake
wins
win.
something.
Yeah, and it's not just like this week where Austin brought him along for the. Oh, I love that. I would have loved that reward. By the way,
And the barbecue.
the barbecue. I would have been
Yeah.
looking for Liampo though, but yeah,
I mean, pork barbecue. Fine.
pork barbecue. Yeah, yeah,
uh, pork belly barbecue. Barbecue
yeah,
pork belly.
yeah.
So good.
It's so good.
So good.
Okay, I need to get some of that soon. Uh,
Oh.
well, it is the holidays soon. So yeah,
Oh.
we're
God,
probably getting yeah.
next year, man, when we come back to record Council of Titos, I'm gonna be like that big.
You're gonna be like, it's gonna be harder for me to crop us into like
Yeah.
the squares that I want, so that and make us look nice. Yeah. Anyway, any other
Right.
predictions?
Nope.
All right, let's go ahead with survivors of the week, starting with castaway of the week.
Uh, I'm gonna say Julie, man.
Yeah, this is the same with me, hands down,
Straight up,
Julie. I
straight up,
mean,
Julie.
it's her relationships that got her this W. It was
Yeah,
her relationship with D that got her the information she needed to pull off the blind side.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully, well, not hopefully. I guess hopefully because I really want Jake to move on. Hopefully, uh, they realize this
Mm,
that like Julie is just really that good.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
know?
And we have been seeing it in this era of Survivor. It's those who are really liked by most of the castaways that wins it in the end.
Yeah.
Right?
So yeah, Survivor of the Week, straight up, Julie.
Yeah.
Martin might say that it's Austin,
It's
but
Austin, yeah. But yeah, for me, he's actually the goat of the week. Again, colored by our the fact that Emily was my canonical winner pick and she was your secondary winner pick.
yep,
But yeah, Austin,
the
his
goat of the
relationship
week.
with D, yeah, goat of the week.
It's a lock.
Yes, his relationship with D crashed the potential blindside on Julie, basically. Right,
Yep.
that
It's a
was
lock.
it.
We have the same. We have the same.
And Martin isn't here to protect him. Sorry, Marts.
Does that mean? Does that mean my purple of the week is now Martin protecting Austin's honor?
That should be it. So is that your purple of the week?
It is now.
Okay, there you go. Giles' purple of the week is Martin protecting the honor of Austin. Meanwhile, for me, it's a little more serious, but well, initially it was the episode title because truthfully, I did not hear it being said.
Mm,
But the other one is the runner-up, or really, which is now the my purple of the week. It's Jake's agency in this game. It seems that he's
mm,
just being strung along. Even
yeah.
Katura now has more agency in the game than
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
He's
It's
just
so bad.
around. He's strung around for the reward. He's strung around for the vote. He does not have any agency in the game right now. Yeah.
Yeah. My my purple of the week before we came up with
Uh,
Martin defending Austin's honor was the sanctuary. It didn't look like they were in the sanctuary for that barbecue,
no, they were in camp. They were in
right?
a different section of the camp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I suppose the sanctuary was a fire hazard or something,
Maybe that's true. That's true.
right? Because like
Yeah.
it's all made of like wood and stuff. So you know they run out of charcoal. Or they run out of charcoal or something. They just start taking apart the sanctuary and using it as wood.
But yeah, and Jake didn't get to say his "I love good things." Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He still hasn't gone to the
He
sanctuary.
still hasn't gone to the sanctuary. It's too bad. Any other thoughts for this episode? Again, this episode was okay. Not
Yeah.
yeah.
Not not not
We
great.
weren't blown away.
You know what's really sad? Emily got voted out on a filler episode.
True. True. Especially yeah. Yeah, we last episode Bruce's vote got voted out with more fanfare. I mean, yeah, you had that whole everyone voted for one person and all the votes were negated, but yeah.
Yeah. And you know, and also it's Emily's boot episode. It's like that in itself is the big thing of the episode, which
Hmm.
is why a lot of people were heartbroken after having watched it. And you know, that was where we got the whoa moment, right? You know, like Emily getting voted out, but you know,
Aside from that,
yeah, it was just a pretty normal episode. It had its moments.
hmm,
Katura's story, you know,
hmm,
like all of Katura's story, Emily like getting voted out, but
yeah.
there have been better episodes this season as pieces of television.
Hmm.
There have been better ones this season.
True. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. I guess that's it for tonight's episode. Yeah. We would greatly appreciate it, guys, if you hit the like button so we don't get voted off the channel. And so, at any rate, this has been Joel Parcon.
Oh, Emily.
Okay, that's it. We hope to see you again on the council soon. Until then, stay safe, mga kalaro. The Titos have spoken.